Today we're going to look at how array lists work in Java. So to do this, we're going to refer to our last lesson where we have this balance string to program to check to see if a string is balanced. A string is balanced if it has like a matching parentheses, matching open and closing parentheses. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to copy our last program to a new program. So I'm going to do copy and I'm going to do paste. So now we're going to have balance string 3. And now we need to do some changes. So since stack class already exists in balance string 2, we're going to have to change the name of this class to something else. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to do a find and replace. So I'm going to replace stack with stack 3, since this is our third example of this program. And I'm going to do a replace all. Okay, so that is it. I'm going to save and the error goes away. So basically, if I just run this now, it should run. And it says the string is balanced. That is referring to this string here. Now if I choose the other string, the top string, and run it again, it says not balanced. The string is not balanced. It's because we don't have matching parentheses and brackets. Alright, so now let's go to our lesson for today, which is we're gonna replace the array with the array list. So right here I have an array of characters. Instead of using an array of characters, I'm gonna change it to an array list of characters. So here I'm just gonna declare my variable to be a list of characters. Okay, so that's how you declare lists, and of course you need to import lists from Java utility. And the next thing you want to do is so here I have my constructor here. I'm gonna change this. I'm not gonna pass in anything to the constructor, and I'm just gonna instantiate my array list here. So I'm gonna say my variable ARR is equal to new array list and of course I need to import array list as well. So there we go. And my first position, instead of passing it in as we done in the past, in the previous program, I'm just gonna set it to position 0. So I'm always gonna start my array list with position 0. And that is what you're supposed to do in the stack anyway. You start from empty position 0 and you move up. So so that's all I need for the array list there and for the constructor. For the push, since my array list, the length, I do not have to define the length of the array list. So it's gonna expand as needed. So there's no need to check for overflow because it's never gonna overflow. It's just gonna grow as it goes. So here I'm just gonna have to store. I need to store the values. So my push method, I'm passing in a character value, and I just need to store that into the array list as opposed to storing it into the array in our last lesson. So here, I'm just got the function to store something into the array list is add. The method is add. So I'm just gonna do the name of the array list, which is ARR dot add, and I'm passing in the item that I want to store in the array list. In this case, the item is the character variable a that is being passed in. And then after that, I'm gonna have to increment my pointer, my next position here, next position p. So I'm moving the pointer to the next position. For my pop, I do need to check to see if the stack is empty. So I still have to do this. And then here, I'm just gonna return a blank character. Over here, we're gonna have to retrieve the value from the array list. So to retrieve the value from the array list, instead of using array and the element number, I'm gonna do the name of the array list dot get, and then the index, which is in this case is p minus 1 or minus p. Okay, so that's my pop. And let's take a look at the main to see what else we need to change in the main. So we have the two possible cases, two possible scenarios, test scenarios. One is to have a string that is not balanced, and the other one is to have a string that is balanced. So right now we're testing the string that is not balanced. And this is the same as the last lesson. So the output is set to be balanced, and if we go through the logic, we see that the string is not balanced. We're going to change the output to not balanced if it happens to be not balanced. So the only change that we need to change here is instead of passing in the array here, as we've done in our last lesson, and the position, we're just going to pass in nothing, because our constructor here is asking for, it's not asking for any parameters to come in, so we're passing in nothing. The rest is pretty much the same. There's no changes in the rest of these code, because the only thing that it's doing is calling the push and the pop method, and the parameters for those hasn't been changed. So there's no changes for the rest of the method, the main method. So let's give this a try and see how it looks. So it says the string is not balanced, and let's see if that is correct. So we're running this string here, we're testing this string, and it's not balanced. That is correct. So now I'm gonna comment out this top string, and I'm gonna uncomment the second one. So now we're testing the second scenario, and this one should return that the string is balanced, because we have matching open braces, open curly braces, close curly braces, and open parentheses and close parentheses. Okay, let's try and run this one. And there it is. It says the string is balanced. So basically, this is how you use ArrayList in Java. You declare it as a list, and you instantiate it to be an array list, and then to store an element, you use the method .add, and to retrieve the value from an element, you use the get method. Thank you, everyone.